We're starting with breaking news. Former Louisiana State Police Commander Mike Edmonsom is facing serious allegations tonight from his own agency.
After months of an internal investigation, the Louisiana State Police released its findings. The report accuses Edmonsom of deleting text messages from one of his troopers' phones, and those text messages are part of an investigation.
Edmonsom ordered the internal review after investigative reporters Katie Moore and Jim Mustian at the New Orleans Advocate broke the story of 4 state troopers taking a side trip with taxpayer money on their way to San Diego. Here's Katie with the story.
4 Louisiana state troopers took a side trip to the Grand Canyon, the Hoover Dam, and Las Vegas in a state-owned SUV on their way to a conference in San Diego in October of 2016. When first asked about the trip, former State Police Commander Mike Edmonsom said this.
So people may watch this and say, you're telling me Colonel Edmonsom didn't know that they were planning this trip?
Well, certainly they're taking the vehicle to San Diego. That was approved. The side trips were not. The ability for them to be paid overtime was certainly not. These were poor decisions made by very good people.
This explosive 300-page report, the results of Louisiana State Police's internal investigation, says Edmonsom not only knew about the side trip and approved it, but he exchanged text pictures with the trooper's wife along the way. While blurry, here's Trooper Thurman Miller, Lieutenant Rodney Hyatt, Hyatt's wife, and Major Darrell Williams at the Grand Canyon and at the Hoover Dam. It appears they were texted to a cell phone belonging to Mike with the initials ME. The report says Edmonson's cell phone records didn't show any texts between him and the group on the days they were traveling, but it does indicate Edmonsom used iMessage, which sends texts through email. The report says Hyatt told investigators that on the day Colonel Edmonsom announced he would retire, Edmonsom, quote, took Hyatt's cell phone and went to the settings feature and manipulated the settings to delete any texts or messages older than 30 days. We reached out to Edmonsom for comment and he didn't return our call.
That's particularly disturbing that anyone in law enforcement, much less the head of the most prestigious law enforcement agency in the state, would destroy evidence and information pertinent to an investigation.
The report says investigators did find that some of the troopers on the trip claimed overtime for hours they didn't work. In March, Hyatt reimbursed the state $1,300. But from the start, Goyeneche has said this whole case needed to be handled as a criminal investigation, not an administrative one. And this report says it was Edmonsom who launched the administrative internal affairs investigation.
So one of the things that's disturbing about this is the fact that, these investigators were reporting back to Mike Edmonsom. So if he has any criminal exposure, he is now privy to what they're uncovering, and in fact he was requested on not one but 2 occasions to make statements to Internal Affairs, and he declined.
Our sources are telling us tonight that big sweeping audit of state police travel that's being done by the legislative auditor, that's wrapping up and it could be released in the next few weeks. State Police spokesman Major Doug Kane said in an email about all of this today, quote, "We as well as the public are aware of the ongoing audits and inquiries into our agency. We continue to offer our full cooperation, and we are confident that at the appropriate time, all of the facts will be made public and the appropriate action will be taken. This continues to be an ongoing process." As Raphael Goyeneche says, this is just the beginning. Natalie and Ton.
Wow, a 300 report.
300-page report, yeah.
Seems like a pretty big development.